So why do we care about needs and wants? Well, any business's goal is to provide a specific good or service, and the whole point of providing the good or the service is to satisfy the customer's needs and wants. So let's break down what a good and a service is. A good is something that is physical or a tangible item. I can pick it up, I can walk out of the store with it. So for example, any food item, any electronic, clothes. These are all goods. I can pick them up. I can hold them in their physical form. Services are the opposite of that. These are intangible or tasks that you are still paying money for some company to perform. So some examples I like to give of services include going to the doctor or the dentist. They're going to do something for you that you'll pay for, but you can't walk away out of a store with a doctor's visit. Oil changes, any sort of mechanical issues, haircuts, lawn and gardening. These are all examples of services. Now, when we are creating goods or services, we have to use what are called resources. So these are the items that people use to make or obtain what they want or need. And what they want or need, remember, is that good or service. There are three main resources, and in section 2, we're going to break these down even further. But the three main resources that are used to make or get what you want or need are money, right? You can go into a store and you could buy your good or your service. Fuel, so you might have to actually use coal to burn to then power the factory to make the tires. And then other labor. So these are the people who are actually working to create things, or you yourself to make what you want. Now, few people have enough resources to satisfy all of their wants or needs. So you need to be able to determine what needs you have and satisfy those first before you run out of resources. Like, I have limited amounts of money, so I'm not going to be able to buy everything I want or need. So I need to figure out what are my top items that I'm going to spend my limited amount of money on. And we'll do this through the decision-making process. Now, the decision-making process has 5 steps. The first is to figure out the problem. Essentially, what do I want or what do I need? So in my example, I'm going to say, what do I want to eat for breakfast? That's step number 1. Step number 2 is that I need to identify alternatives or options for my decision. So number 1 is that I could always not do this, or it could be nothing. So I could say, I'm going to skip breakfast and not eat it. Maybe I want pancakes, or I could have cereal, or I could have waffles, or I could have donuts. So I've identified a bunch of alternatives or options. I could go on and on. The third thing is to list the pros and cons of each of those alternatives or options. So, well, if I don't eat anything, that's really cheap, but I'm going to be hungry. If I eat cereal, it's quick and easy, but maybe it's got a lot of sugar. If I eat waffles, that's nice and filling, but the syrup could get sticky all over my hair. If I eat donuts, it's super sweet. It's my favorite breakfast food, but I'm going to gain a bunch of weight from the donut calories. So I'm listing the pros and cons of my options. Step number 4 is to rank and then decide. So I'm going to say, well, you know what? I know I like to go to the gym, so donuts is number 1. Number 2 is cereal because usually I don't have a lot of time in the morning. Number 3 is waffles. And then number 4 is not eating breakfast at all. And so when I look at those, I'm going to be like, yep, I'm going to go with number 1. And then number 5 is once we've made that decision, evaluate if I actually got what I wanted or I needed. Yep, the donut totally filled me up and I was able to go to the gym later, and so I didn't get fat. So that is how the decision-making process works.